Hi, welcome to my channel and thank you for being here. Today we're just gonna do a basic get ready with me. I'm getting ready for work and I don't have anything specific to talk about for this video. It just felt like a lot of pressure to come up with something and I just wanted to do something more lax for me. Hopefully you enjoy that. I did get this Lunar Beauty Strawberry Dream palette on Morphe's website. I don't really support Morphe, but I could not pass up $15 for this palette. It's normally $39 or even potentially more than that. Even with shipping, I got this for more than half off. Like, holy cow, I could not say no. I've never used any of Lunar Beauty's stuff ever because it's pretty pricey and nothing has like screamed to me as far as color stories. The packaging always gets me. I fucking love this packaging. But as far as color stories, nothing has just like been like, I have to have that, but for 15 bucks I had to have it. So here I am. I'm super excited to get to try his formula and try the palette out and see if it's really all that in a bag of chips. Yeah, so going to start off with, I think I'm gonna start off with going into Skyline. I did swatch this and I felt like the mattes didn't swatch very well, but the shimmers did. But mattes don't tell the whole story, so like swatching, you know what I mean? So I'm hoping that they perform better on the eyes. I'm gonna pull off the, I know some people like the sound of that. Okay, anyways. I'm super excited to have this. And you know, it's expensive. But what I don't have any like super high-end palettes, but I have, you know, mid-tier palettes and I have cheaper, more affordable palettes. And I will say that when somebody says for the price point it's good, that means that like for the price point it's good. I'm gonna go into Sunset. There's different tiers of eyeshadows. So something that's gonna cost, you know, like a Wet n Wild for 10 bucks. Like I really like that Wet n Wild Halloween release that they did. I thought that it performed really well. But it performed really well for that price point. Does that make sense? So like compared to, I don't know, compared to my Kaleidos eyeshadows, it doesn't even hit, like it's not even really comparable. And that makes sense because those are more expensive. And so they better perform better, right? The formula better be better. And then like I got the Natasha Denona Love palette, and this is my first time ever using a Natasha Denona palette that size. I've used one of the ones from Boxy, and like the way that it performs is freaking amazing. And so it performs better than my mid-tier stuff, you know what I mean? And as it should, because of the price point. So yeah, I don't know if that makes sense or if I'm explaining myself well enough. Now there are some stuff that I'm gonna go into Strawberry Moon. I know there is some stuff that has a higher price point and it doesn't perform like it should, or there's something that's affordable but it doesn't perform very well. And you know what I mean? So not everything that's going to cost a lot of money is going to perform where it should for its price point. So I don't know. I am starting to get to that phase where I want to expand on more expensive stuff, and stop buying, not as good eyeshadows, even though they're good for the price point. I have plenty of those palettes. So I just think that it's time for me to start saving my money. Saving my money instead of buying more. I want to buy less but better quality. I'm going to go into Cloudy. I don't know if that makes any sense to anybody. Like, I've reached that point to where I want to own less but better. You know what I mean? The one thing that I do find though is that like some of the better stuff like Natasha Denona and Pat McGrath and Charlotte Tilbury and all of those brands, they don't have color stories that scream to me. So generally, I think I'll have to stick in more of the mid-tier stuff because I'm not getting rid of my love for color. Although I have been wearing more neutral colors lately. I still just want to keep gravitating towards more color. So yeah, I do think that like indie brands can be mid-tier price and perform like amazing, and that you don't need like the Charlotte Tilbury and stuff. But I will say that the way that Natasha Denona Love palette performed, like I don't have any shadows that compare to it. Like it literally melted into my skin, and it was like it became a part of my skin. Like it blended and melted in, and it didn't look like I had shadow didn't look like I had shadow sitting on top of my skin. It was like a part of my skin. Does that make sense? I don't know if I'm explaining that well. And I don't know, maybe if you've used some of her stuff and other shadows and stuff, maybe you understand what I'm saying. I don't know. So like I am kind of sad to have to admit that I think that her shadows are worth the price. And that like blows my mind because I didn't expect that I would say that. Like I just didn't think that I would ever be like, yeah, that's worth $120 ever. But I think it is. And that just it blows my mind, you guys. All right, I'm gonna go into Blue Sky. Have you used higher end palettes and other palettes? Like, I'm not saying you can't create looks with more affordable makeup that are amazing. Like, absolutely you can, and I do. But I don't know. I don't know what's happening to me, you guys. What is happening? is definitely not what I was planning on talking about when I sat down. I had no idea what I was going to talk about, but then I was thinking about the price point of this palette and the price points of other palettes and what's worth it and what's not. So, yeah. Hopefully that this conversation is interesting. I'm not a very interesting person. All right. I want to throw on some shimmer, obviously, because I like shimmer. Again, I waited entirely too long to wash my makeup brushes, so they're all wet, and I have a limited amount of brushes. I mean, I have brushes, they're just not my favorite. But anyways, I think I want to go into Ruby Skies. And I don't want to use any primer or anything. And then I'm gonna go into here, I'm gonna put it over here too. I think that he has different shimmer formulas in this palette, which is something I noticed when I swatched it, was that some of the shimmers were a little bit different than the other shimmers. Then I'm gonna go into Sweet Dreams. I am interested to hear what your guys' input is on more expensive shadows and more affordable brands and that whole thing. But I do buy a lot of makeup, and I mean, not a lot, but I buy more than I need. And I do think that I want to start buying less but buying better quality. I think that's where I'm at in my makeup journey. I'm gonna go into this blue diamond shadow, and I'm gonna use it for a highlight. You guys should have seen the box that this was sent in. Luckily, they packaged it so well because they put it in like a rather large box, but they put bubble wrap like all in it, and like the palette couldn't move. They filled the box as they should have, but the box like looked like it literally been kicked or stomped on. Like it was like half open and mushed in. Like it was really bad. Maybe I'll insert a picture, maybe, if I could remember. But it was terrible. But anyways, that is the eyes. I can't believe, I mean, it's done. I don't normally do both eyes on camera, but I figured it's been a while, so I'm gonna do my makeup too. It's been a while since I've just kind of done a basic get ready with me and talk about whatever. Yeah, my hair loss from surgery is slowing down, but I'm still losing hair. So I'm just kind of hoping that it'll get even better and my hair can start growing back. I'm kind of ready for that. My weight loss has slowed down by a lot, and I'm hitting like a lot of stalls, which is rather annoying, but I am happy to like at the very least be able to say I'm maintaining. I'm at 175 right now, which is the lowest I've been since like before my first child. So, you know, that's the lowest I've been in at least 12 years. But I think even maybe a little bit longer, because before her I was not thin. I've never been like, you know, thin. But I've never, like, I wasn't like super overweight either. You know, I was like 125 in middle school. I'm 5'4". Yeah. So I think in high school I was closer to 140, 145, and that's where like my body, I think, liked to be at. So that's where like my body liked to be at. So that's what I'm aiming for, and I'm hoping I get there at some point. It's hard to just try to remind myself to stay on track and that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, even though I'm not losing, you know? I measured myself for the first time yesterday since surgery, and I've lost 45 inches in total. Of like, I measured my waist, hip, thigh, calf, arm, chest, and bust, and yeah, I've lost 45 inches in all. So I was kind of excited to see that amount of weight loss, or I mean inches. Like, I haven't tracked my inches, and so I didn't know really what to expect when, you know, I have, started enjoying some things that I probably shouldn't enjoy. So even though my calorie intake is okay, I know that what I'm eating isn't necessarily the healthiest. And so, yeah, I need to hold myself a little bit more accountable. I've been eating a lot of popcorn. And just, I need to make wiser decisions with my food and up my protein intake. I think that would help speed up or get me out of this stall. So that's what I'm going to start doing, is to increase my protein and decrease like the popcorn that I'm eating, and start tracking more, because I need to track my macros, and I need to track that stuff. I know what my calorie intake is, and that's been fine. But I need to do something more. So I'm gonna start really tracking everything. Yeah. Hopefully you are still here. This is probably a rather long video. If you see stuff on this blanket, it's because I'm a terrible dirty person and I wipe my brushes and stuff on this blanket. I know that's so bad, but it's what I do, and that's what I have been using it for. So it's what it's dedicated to now. Okay, like when I was doing body painting and it was in here, like I really needed something and I used the blanket. It's fine. It's totally fine. You can be judging, but that's what that stuff is. So it's stained now at this point. So even when I do wash it, it's still there. So this blanket just permanently sits in here, and I'll continue to use it like that and to keep me warm, because it's freaking cold in this room. There's no heat in this room, and the insulation isn't that great because we added this room on. So yeah, anyways, I am going to do my liner and my lips and my mascara and stuff off camera, and then I'll be back to wrap everything up and give you my input on this palette. Okay? Okay. Okay, so here's the finished look. If you're still here, I used Beauty Creations Longwear Matte Lip Gloss in Sweetheart, and ColourPop Insomniac on my waterline. Yeah, I think the palette's okay. I need to use it more to really give anybody any thoughts on it. I know it's been out forever, so nobody even really probably cares to hear my full thoughts on the palette. I will say for 15 bucks it was, and I'm happy with it so far. I don't know how I would feel spending $40 on it though, so we'll see how much I end up liking it and what my feelings are for it later. But yeah, thank you for joining me on this long adventure of my get ready with me. I'm gonna get ready or finish getting ready for work, so see you next time. Bye.